accept this. I will not accept this award. I don't need your award. You need me. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. I'm just practicing my disacceptance speech for the Golden Globes. You see, no one's going to go this year. I mean, in fact, nobody went, but I'm pretty sure that News Time won an award. And so when they send me that gold statue of the Golden Globe, I'm not going to accept it. So I'm just practicing what I'm going to say when I give it back to them. I'm going to make a whole thing of it. All of the trade publications are going to talk about it. It's going to be on TikTok. There's going to be whole dances to it and songs and whatnot. So you just be on the lookout for that viral moment. Maybe I can just practice a few lines here. Dear Golden Globes, you can sug my bub. I'm not going to accept this. You stink. And I don't need your award anymore. Okay, well, that's it. Time to go. Tell off the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. That's who throws the Golden Globes. Bye-bye.
It's news time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Welcome back to News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the new award, Who Dis News You Didn't Know About. Well, the Golden Globes took place this past weekend. I didn't go. You didn't go. No famous people went. None of the trade publications or outside press did either. It was an intimate affair. Let's say too intimate. Only a handful of the Foreign Press Association attended. That's the organization that puts on the whole shindig. If it sounds sad that a bunch of people who put on the show were the only ones there to celebrate, it is. That's like a bunch of high school drama kids putting on this show for themselves. Like their parents didn't even show up. The after party was at Evan Goldstein's house. Well, his mom is gone most of the time, dating random guys who always overpromise and never deliver. And Evan's always had braces. Always. You've known him since the 5th grade, and you've never seen his pure enamel. Side note, Pure Enamel is also the name of his ska rap band. Hits. Bangers. All over. The Globes used to be a prestigious entity in the awards circuit. The show essentially positioned itself as the start of the season where we gift gold statues and statuettes to the most creative people in the world. Got to be gender neutral here. A glitzy ballroom becomes home to an A-listers as they drink all the alcohol they can before braving the steps of the stage to slovenly accept their metal paperweight. This past Sunday saw exactly that. Just without the crowd and the people accepting the awards. I've talked about the Globes before almost too many times. Man, this show's been going on for 8 years. God, that's too long. Coming into the year that would be the first of the pandemic, 2020, I spoke on the Globes twice in less than a few weeks. Once was to cover the mostly white male-driven nominations, while the other was covering why the show still matters in a world where they clearly don't watch movies starring people of color and, in a case-by-case basis, women. Sounds controversial, yes, but they love whatever white nonsense Greta Gerwig releases, so prove me wrong on that. It wasn't until 2021 when the HFPA was found to have no black members that they became a real issue. Yes, I covered that too, baby. And as it turns out, as fancy as their name sounds, the HFPA isn't as glamorous as they portrayed themselves to be. Just listen to how they conducted their work at press events.
I mean, when it comes down to it, audiences just want to see a fun show. They want to turn on the TV and enjoy themselves for a little while, and that's something that the Golden Globes always delivered in spades. It's less than 100 people. And, even though some of these people are journalists, a lot of them, their journalistic bona fides are very questionable. And I don't want to tar every member with this brush, but I've spent time with Hollywood Foreign Press members. I see them sometimes when I go to a press conference, and they're usually the one, enthusiastically raising their hand and asking Blake Lively something like, Blake Lively, when will you come do a movie in Brazil? And then they run up and ask her for a selfie. These are not very serious questions. And because of that, these members aren't taken all that seriously.
How did the Globes lose the luster needed for a statue to shine? As I mentioned previously, there was a whole lack of black journalists debacle. They since tasked themselves with bringing in black members or risk being dropped in the rankings of award shows we listen to. That's actually an article I'm writing for BuzzFeed as we speak. They're paying me in ad dollars, which means I'm getting a couple of pennies and some gum. Finally, I'm getting paid in gum. Netflix was the first company to balk at working with the HFPA, citing a need for change within the group. While it may not sound like much, this was a big blow to the Globes. The HFPA begged for forgiveness, saying they'd change if Netflix came back. And to their credit, they did, a little later than what was needed. From that point forward, it was all downhill. Like Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. Remember that game? No. Amazon turned up their nose. Scarlett Johansson slammed them. Warner Media was all, we're going to refrain talking from you. Tom Cruise told them to take back their crusty statues. The biggest blow of them all came from NBC when the network said it wasn't going to air the ceremony. A move like this essentially killed the entire show. No other network wanted to jump into the fray by agreeing to air the Globes. Inside the HFPA, a reform was taking place. There were new plans as outlined by the board and backed by 72 of 75 total members. Boy, you really have to be an asshole when you don't want to change for the better. No, I liked it better when there weren't any blacks. Or women for that matter. It sounds like Star Wars fans. The Golden Globes don't really need to exist. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association doesn't need to be at press conferences. From an outsider's perspective, it sort of feels as though the loose nature of the show is what killed it. What truly needs to happen is a bit of button tightening. And maybe, just maybe, we can get our Globes back. You know what you can get back is to subscribing and checking out one of our other videos. Of course, you can head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where there are so many great things that you go, oh boy, 8 years is too much. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Listen to the Constitutionals podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And yeah, I'll accept this Globe on behalf of my butt.